Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Ryan Rags, and I'm here with a video with 7 tips and tricks for Fortune Keep. Let's get right into it and start with tip number 1, and that's where to land. There's 2 main hot drops on Fortune's Keep, and that's Winery and then Town. Winery is a great spot to land if you're looking to get a lot of kills, but you can get lost there for a really long time, not able to get your loadout or not able to get started really quickly sometimes. And remember, your landing spot is going to dictate a lot of your rotations if you're not dying off rip and have to rotate to try to regain. So while Winery is a hot drop right in the beginning of the match, remember a lot of teams that are getting destroyed in Winery are just going to go and land somewhere else and start regaining to try to get their loadout. I prefer to land at Keep because I'm able to fight 1 or 2 teams and then get right into the mix after getting my loadout. Usually there's 3 buys around, so you'll always have a quick buy station to be able to hit every game, and you'll usually have enough for a UAV, which means that you're able to see where most of the people are on the map and where you want to rotate into next to be able to get the most amount of kills possible. Now that brings me to tip number 2, which is positioning. Positioning is key on Fortune's Keep in comparison to Rebirth, where it doesn't really matter as much. Positioning is always more important on some of the bigger BR maps like it was on Verdansk and how it is on Caldera. There's a lot of rooftops and places for people to hide and also maneuver around quickly. On Fortune's Keep, it's smart to slow down and not push every fight unless you have a UAV and know exactly where the enemies are, because there's a lot of hiding spots where you can get shot in the back or from people just hiding in corners in different positions. On Fortune's Keep, it's easy to have bad positioning since the map is much more spread out and rotating takes much longer in comparison to Rebirth. But that just means it's much more important once you get into the fight. Having good positioning can easily make the difference between getting fast and easy kills into you dying and having to regain and try to find another loadout. That brings me into tip number 3, which is don't stand still. Rotating is one of the most important parts of every single BR game you can play, and is especially important in a low TTK BR like Warzone. This map is the king of movement and finesse. On Rebirth and Caldera, it's really easy to get caught out and not be able to rotate or do a lot of movement around corners and different positions to be able to survive different fights. But as you guys can see, especially this gameplay that I'm showing you guys here, that there's a lot of positions and a lot of chances to be able to move to different places and get around corners to be able to survive. That makes this map extremely fun for getting team wipes because you're able to run around corners, get downs, and reposition very quickly into new places and take advantage of those first knock situations, unlike maps like Rebirth and Caldera, which sometimes it's much harder to reposition and get to better locations to take the second part of the fight. Now moving to tip number 4, and that is info is king. When I'm talking about info, I'm talking about using your map, audio cues, and being aware of your surroundings. Be careful of corners because it's very easy to chase people into bad locations where it gives them the advantage over you. But you also do see enemies every time you get that full kill, so make sure to try to get the full kill when you are fighting full teams in big situations. That's why throwing knives are really big and you'll see a lot of people running. And if you're working with your team and staying by them for a lot of the game, make sure to call out that position, whether they're above or below you on the mini-map, and also let them know the direction they're in, because that can help your team win the fight and definitely not die in a lot of different situations, especially against sweaty players. Make sure to keep popping UAVs, pay attention to your surroundings, and keep using those audio cues. Let's move into our next tip, hide and seek. The map is very open and there's a lot of places to get shot in the back, especially when you're rotating to a different area on the map. This means you're going to want to be running towards cover in a lot of situations where there could be campers on a lot of high spots and high positioning places on the map. Try not to rotate without having close cover in mind where you're able to run to, just in case you're getting shot from a different angle. This is a time to mention why stims are so valuable. I know a lot of people do enjoy running that heartbeat sensor because it does give you a lot of information, especially in Resurgence game where a lot of people usually don't have ghosts. But while rotating and trying to move into different positioning, stims can really give you a big leap and big advantage in these situations to help you get into cover just a little quicker. Moving into our next tip, that is learning the map. Fortune's Keep is the newest addition and the 3rd map inside of the rotation right now for Warzone. That means a lot of people are still playing Caldera and Rebirth, and Fortune's Keep is one of the newer maps and a lot more people are enjoying it, but that means not a lot of people have a lot of game time on the map. There's a lot of jump spots and a lot of corners you can hide in and take a lot of advantage all over the map in all different locations, and how you use those positions to your advantage to get more kills can be game changer. There's not as many OP power positions like there are on Rebirth. In my opinion, the only reason those 2 positions are still in the map is because Prison would be way too much of a power position if that wasn't a spot where you're able to kill people on top of Prison. And generally on Fortune's Keep, you're not going to run into problems like that. Most of the high locations are easy to get to and easy to get into fights to or get picks to be able to push. Most of the power positions like Lighthouse are kind of on the corner of the map, and you're not able to get a lot of kills in those positions, and you're able to keep away from them if you're not trying to die to them. Lastly, this map is taken straight out of Assassin's Creed. If you haven't played the game, don't worry about it, but the general idea is you're able to climb and jump spot almost everywhere. When you're inside of the town area or inside of keep, especially in winery, also there's a lot of off angles and small positions you can get a huge advantage on your enemies. Taking off positions and off angles can be game changing in the amount of kills you're able to get within one game. There are times where you're going to die in weird and awkward positions after doing a jump spot. Remember to keep trying and keep using new jump spots. Even if you don't think it's a very strong spot, learning different spots and different areas on the map is super powerful. That way you're able to counter enemies when they are on those spots, and you'll learn to take advantage of these positions way more often and how to get the jump spot down perfectly. There are a lot of times where jump spots take 1 or 2 tries and sometimes even a week or 2 to actually be able to do every single time and consistently. Like on Rebirth for me and Grandma's house, jumping onto the ledge to be able to get into the 2nd floor did take me a little while to be able to get every single time. Remember, if this video did help, send this to a friend because I want to be able to help as many people as possible with this content. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your time. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one, and enjoy the rest of the gameplay.
Setting a rally point.
I'm just sending bounty, bro.
Enemy soldier nearby. There are 24 enemies active. Get them all.
I got bounty.
Bounty target's down. Marvelous.
Threat neutralized.
There's
Setting a
hell
rally
up there,
point.
bro.
Oh my god.
There's.
Squad member is redeployed.
Help me, help me, help me.
Yeah, I got it.
Taking supplies.
I'm trading, not holding.
Is this guy? Is this guy on going to base?
Yeah. Facing me. Oh, no, there's camping in the corner.
Loadout drop headed your way.
No way, bro.
Best served,
No!
One of your allies is back
So
in the game.
fucked.
Dude, I was just frying right there.
Yo,
You can stay somewhere. I'll talk to you.
It is, it is.
I'm hit.
Oh, what the?
I'll come get you, Shadow.
Safe,
Give me a sec.
I got no clips, so I'm going to these. Right there. Oh, fucking damn.
No. On the side, bro.
bench. Of course.
He's one shot.
No angle.
Enemy dropping into the area.
Oh, yeah.
They don't look so friendly.
His teammates above. His teammates above on the roof.
The new safe zone.
One shot. He's ready.
Only 5 left.
Plating.
Moving.
That EMP saved his boy's life, to be honest, because we couldn't see anything. If we could see the map when he died.
Yeah, just peeking right there.